Good morning. It is Saturday, June 23rd. We are up in the Olympic Peninsula near Quilcene, Washington, along the Quilcene River. You might hear that in the background down there. We are along the Upper Big Quilcene. Ooh, just got my first glimpses of the river down there. Kind of see the water down there. We're kind of doing a stretch from the Upper Big Quilcene trailhead up to Marmot Pass and back. A little bit of a climb here at the beginning. It's going to be about 11 to 12 miles total today. And just wanted to do a little quick introduction. The nice drive up. It's about almost a half hour off 101 along the Hood Canal area of Washington and into the Olympic National Forest. I don't think we're not quite into national park territory. I'm getting some nice glimpses of the river here. So I'm going to go take some pictures and I will check back in a little while. Smooth it out, make a nice little slide down the trail. So we've had some nice stretches along the river here. I'll look at the slideshow for some pictures of that. Got a couple of spots. We're right along the river now. I don't know, we're about only about a mile and a half in so far. And just lots of little areas like that. It's so this is also access to some wilderness camping areas. We've seen a couple of groups on the way out this morning. What else? There's a Washington Trails Association, WTA, work crew at the trailhead when we got here. So this trailhead's often pretty packed, so you gotta get here kind of early. We got here at 8:30 and the lot was full, in part probably because of the work crew. Most reports say if you don't get here at 9, you're going to be parking down the road. Which meant leaving home at about 6:30 this morning. Let's see what else. Sorry, just getting distracted by all the neat views of the river here. Chance of seeing, of course, marmots because it's Marmot Pass. But there's also been recent reports of goat activity. So maybe we'll run into some goats. Hopefully not literally. Or they run into us. It's always cool seeing trees like that growing over rocks. Alright, we'll catch up again in a little bit. Alright, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what I've been seeing along the trail here and there. Just some nice little falls happening. Alright, so we're at about, I don't know, we're pushing off past about 4,600 feet at this point. We are basically in the cloud layer. As you can see there. Definite change in terrain. We're more rocky. Less trees. We went from some cedar to pine to now less and less. Some flowers. This blue one I took a picture of. Paintbrush. They're kind of a reddish ones. Look for picture slideshow for pictures of those. So haven't been doing a lot on the way up. This is just, we're about 4.5 miles or just shy of 4.5 miles. And it's just basically an uphill climb the whole way. Some of it's just steady incline, some of it a little more sloped, a little more of an incline. But it's just up and up and up at this point. So, which means on the way back it's going to be down, down, down. So that's always preferable to the other way around, I guess. I don't know if this will show, but you can actually see the fog, the cloud, whatever this is, drifting by on the trail. It's kind of cool. So yeah, so I figure you guys, don't need to listen to me huffing and puffing the whole way up. I like to blame it on my Minnesota lungs, you know, growing up and living for 40 plus years at pretty much sea level. I think the average elevation in Minnesota is about 800 feet. And it seems like when I get up to about 3,500, a little over, the inclines do me in real fast. I run out of breath quickly. I recover quickly, but it means just these short, frequent stops to catch my breath and keep going on. Of course, talked a little bit about the extra weight I'm carrying these days. That probably doesn't help. Yeah. We stopped. We had a little break at about the 3.5 mile mark for a snack break. I always keep at least one protein bar with me for times like that. Can give me a little energy boost without the carbs, so I don't react to the carbs that often, unfortunately, after my bypass surgery. Can do a gastric bypass, is familiar with dumping. What I do get occasionally is a reactive hypoglycemic reaction, where I get real sweaty, lightheaded, almost kind of out of it. And if that happens, I really need to get some protein in me fast. Usually some string cheese or some lunch meat will help. That's why I keep protein bars with me on hikes. So anyway, okay, I'm going to try to catch up with the rest. I'll check in a bit later. So the clouds are starting to break, it seems, or we're getting above them. And I don't know how well this will show through and view, but it's just really cool. Now that one's going away again. Had a really good view of that peak over there a moment ago. So hopefully, we ran into somebody on their way down that said once we get up a little higher, there are some good views. We're a little bit less than a half mile from the next camp, which I'm not sure if that's going to be our turnaround point or not. We'll see. We're averaging about 1.5 miles per hour right now, which is about the pace we expected. So we're about 4.5 miles in. So yeah, I don't think we're probably about a mile or so yet from the pass. So, but I think we're going to stop for lunch once we get to the next campground. Anyway, we'll check in shortly. So we made it up to Mystery Camp. We stopped here for lunch, about a half hour. This is hopping place today. There's been a lot of day hikers hiking through, a bunch on their way back. We've got a bunch of backpackers all around us and other backpackers that stopped here. This is kind of the last water stop before, well, for quite a while. And so there's a nice little creek here that people have been getting water from. This one couple I talked to briefly, they got a Steri Pen one that I've seen. They like it. They said, you know, it doesn't clog up, as of course, because it's not filtering. It just uses the UV rays. So I don't know. It'd be on the wish list for down the road, maybe. But I'm happy with I've got the Sawyer Mini, and then I've also got the Katadyn bee-free ones. So. Anyway, we're going to try to make it up to Marmot Pass now. We've only got about 3/4 mile up to there. We're at about a little over 5 now. So head up there and hopefully enjoy some views. The sun is breaking out a little bit, and then we'll head back downhill. So you can kind of see it back there. We're at about, I think, 5,400 feet, and we're running into a bit of a snow left over, which is so much green. It's incredible. Everything from wildflowers, was it chocolate lilies and paintbrush and I don't even know I don't know what any of them are. I'm not a flower person. It's a flower. They look really cool, but I have no idea what they are. Succulents in the rocks, and just all these little kind of stuff growing all over. It's kind of fun. All right, I gotta catch up with the others. Alright, so this is just a little ways past the campsites, and yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know if this is yet considered Marmot Pass, but we're getting pretty close. I think I can make it. It's not too much further. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Wave hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
We made it to Marmot Pass, roughly 5,900 feet elevation, although my phone was saying about 5,960. The others went up that ridge line, and I decided to check out this path down here, not realizing I'd be end up right under where they were. Can't really see them, but peaks just kind of poking their way through the clouds. A lot of backpackers out here. It's a popular backpacking destination, I guess. The Olympic Mountains. I don't know the peak names or anything, unfortunately. So I had to cross a bit of a snowfield to get over here. A lot of ants out today. No real wildlife sightings. There's the snowfield I gotta cross. Up that away, I don't know if you can see the trail, kind of right there. I was up to Buckhorn Mountain, which you can't see because of the clouds today. Alright, I gotta get back across this and I don't want to slip, so I'll be back in a moment. That there is the trail we came up on. There's some folks camping down in the bowl down there. Hopefully the trees will keep them warm, otherwise it tends to get chillier when you're in these little valleys like that, especially with there's snow cover. That wind's going to come down off that snow and chill the air quite a bit. It's kind of cool. On the way in, there was certain spots like that where the wind was coming up the sides and it was nice and chilled. Just beautiful view. Alright, we stopped at the one campground to get some water and we're heading down, and so going up is definitely tough. I mean, it's a workout. I was sweating up a storm. So for the bariatric patients out there, that first summer after my surgery, I couldn't do anything to work up a sweat. That was really weird, especially after when I was heavy sweating, you know, in 40-degree weather kind of thing. No, I can work up a sweat, especially chugging up, you know, a few thousand feet of elevation, you know, roughly 1,000, I think we did roughly 1,000 foot per mile, maybe a little less. I don't know, I'll have to double check, I'll post the stats, but well, maybe it's not that much, but anyway, where was I going with that? Anyway, now coming down, it's, you know, going up, you know, it's definitely work out the legs, the quads are, I mean, holy cow, that's where I'm feeling it. The knees a little bit, you know, Stairmaster kind of climbing kind of stuff. So going down though, it's a different thing on the knees. You're putting pressing forward on the knees and then the toes in your boots. You want to make sure you have your boots adjusted good for that. I find I try to almost, not quite squat, but kind of try to keep my center over my heels, center of gravity over my heels, and that seems to help. We're back in the fog big time. Can't see anything. So, but yeah, it's been a wonderful day. We a little behind schedule. Spent a little extra time just up at Marmot Pass, just hanging out, enjoying the view. We were shooting for about a 1.5 mile an hour pace up. We did about 1.4, so a little bit shy of that. But overall, we were, I think, within 10 minutes of being up to the pass from when we had planned on it, and just took longer hanging out up there. So we're a little behind schedule going down, hoping to hit about a 2.5 mile an hour pace going down. Oh, I got a log I got to crawl under here. But one of the things that slows you down on a trail like this is all the people heading up the trail. It's a popular trail line. We've passed dozens of backpackers at this point. The sites, the developed sites, or the established sites, I guess we would call them, are all pretty taken. But it's national forest, so technically you can camp pretty much wherever you want. We're above 4,000 feet, so there's no campfires, stoves only. But yeah, I mean, I bet you we've seen close to 100 backpackers total today. Well, maybe not that many, 60 at least. I lost count. So, and with the ones that we didn't see, I bet you it's probably close to 100 just in this little radius of where we were at. So, anyway, I gotta focus on where I'm walking, so we'll check in later. Oh, look, like somebody's had camped out at this site before. Not bad, only about 1.5 miles in from the trailhead. We'll have to keep that in mind for future. So I was rambling for about 2-3 minutes, and all of a sudden my phone locked on me, and I lost whatever I was doing. So anyway, we're just basically about 1 mile or so back to the trailhead, a little more. Just surprised, still seeing a number of backpackers heading up, and I don't know where they're going to find places, but more power to them. Hopefully they have a good night once they get up. So we ran into cloud cover, or back into the clouds, I guess, once we got below, I don't know, 5,000 feet or so maybe. And it's been like this ever since, but we're back down along the river. You can hear it in the background there. Look at those huge rocks that are just kind of sitting around areas, stuff that was thrown, you know, tossed around during the last ice age. Let's see if we can get a, you know, things, I don't know, 12, 15 feet in height. Just so much cool stuff to see. So once we get back to the trailhead here, we're going to head into Quilcene. It's a little town on 101. Along the Hood Canal that's supposed to, got a couple of restaurants supposed to have some decent food. So one of the worst parts about these hikes, I think, for me sometimes, is doing these miles and then getting in the car and driving back home. Your legs just stiffen up like crazy. It seems like, at least for me, some of my friends I've talked to. So, used to having to after I played paintball all day too. So we're going to go into the town and have dinner on the way home, and that'll give me a chance to hopefully stretch out a little bit before. We got about a a little over 2 hour drive back home. Well, no, actually be less than that once, because about half hour of that is just getting from the trailhead back down to 101. So it should only be a little over a 90-minute drive home, because we're heading a little further north, then back south to get home again. So anyway, yeah, not like you need to know that. Still beautiful. I just love it out here. So anyway, I may check in. Well, I'll probably just wrap up when I get back to the trailhead, unless something super fascinating happens along the way. Although I might be able to get you guys one last view of the river before we go. Big old down tree. Alright, we'll see you guys back at the trailhead. Alright, so we just came around this last bend, and everybody started seeing the cars down by the road, and it's like, oh, the cars, the cars. So, I got literally a couple hundred feet, maybe 100 foot to go. So we're going to be at about 11.6, 11.7 miles total. It is about 5:30. We hit the trail at 9 o'clock this morning. Lots of little breaks here and there. We can take pictures, enjoy scenery, and just relax and not beat ourselves up too much. So all in all, a very lovely way to spend the day. Yep, and here's the trailhead coming up ahead. So thanks for tagging along as usual. And again, you know, hey, if you want, leave comments, questions, anything, stuff like that. Like the video, share it, thumbs up, that kind of stuff. So the trailhead, we are here. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys on the trail next time. Have a good one.